you get any sort of inertial push, some sort of story that will actually drive price. And if you don't have any trapped bulls, look at what can happen. You can see that here's your old range. I bought down here at 2 sats. And then look, in this particular case, show me a new high and I'll show you a buy. So that we're into virgin territory here. And look at what they did to this thing. Boom, straight up. The point here is this is what you really want to try and get in front of. You want to try and capture that event. Brian, can you explain what does it mean, the saying you repeat often, show me a new high and I show you a buy in trading terms? How would that be reflected in a trading plan? The expression itself comes from the commodities industry. Let's just preface this conversation with what they're talking about is new contract highs. An easy way to think about this is like the shitcoin. When a shitcoin comes right out of the gate, this is probably a good example, where this thing theoretically is a brand new idea here. If you think about this as it's a brand new idea and think of futures contracts as a brand new contract, you can think of it as a futures contract or a shitcoin. I don't know whether this is all the price history, but let's assume for the sake of assuming that it was an IPO. It came here and went zooming up, then it pulled back, trading range. Now, hopefully it makes sense that anybody who bought through this one candle, and especially these guys, we all know where they're sleeping, right? Where are these people that are in this wick here, especially if we're over here? Where are these people sleeping? Doghouse, couch, whatever you want to call it, wife's not happy. So does it make sense that if price could get up into this area again, there's going to be a bunch of motivated sellers here? Does that make sense? It should. But what happens if they can get price actually above that level? Are there any motivated sellers up here? No, because price never traded to there. So there is no trap people here. So think of this as once they can punch this up to a new high, then now all of these people, they are in sort of virgin territory up here. There are no trapped bulls up here that desperately want release. And you could argue, show me a new high. So that would basically be that event, is basically saying, look at, now we are into what they call the price discovery process. And as you can see here, it might even be beneficial for you to add maybe a rule. Look at, I'm going to let the punch out happen because obviously this was a big inertial event. And there probably were a bunch of people that had alarms set right at that level. And that were like, okay, this thing gets, breaks to new highs and I'm so going to sell these coins that I bought here or any of these coins down in here. So maybe let this just settle out. But I might argue that this event here, where it basically went up through that high there, we're now into virgin territory. And so what happens to price? Look how price just explodes higher here. Just boom. So I think you can make the argument that, half of the reason why people make so much money in this venture cap space is because there are no trapped bulls once they break these things out to new highs. And, you want to see a really fun one from a previous cycle. And, the irony of it all is once the sort of the euphoria dies down, then the thing comes right back down to earth. But actually, I think I was trading this versus Bitcoin. You get any sort of inertial push, some sort of story that will actually drive price. And if you don't have any trapped bulls, look at what can happen. I mean, you can see that, here's your old range. I bought down here at 2 sats. And then look, in this particular case, show me a new high and I'll show you a buy. So that we're into virgin territory here. And look at what they did to this thing. Boom, straight up. Now, you could argue that at some point, this is just going to get exhausted. Now, fog and bombs and all that kind of stuff probably come in. If we do things like 2.618, 4.669s, that's probably all that. Yeah. Oh, what a surprise. We stopped basically right at fog and bomb. Oh, shocking. But the point here is this is what you really want to try and get in front of. You want to try and capture that event. And then they did the same damn thing. Let this thing consolidate and then break out. And here we go again, right? I'm trying to show you. So there is there's a whole bunch of trap bulls up there. Those are the idiots that are buying, chasing, stupid. You're all here to learn not to do this, right? If anything, what you want to do if you want to buy this is draw your reload zones. And what a big surprise. Oh, what a big surprise. There's Brian's favorite fib, right? You want to step in and buy. And that's a test of the old highs. What do we call that? That's a Wyckoff check. So not only is that Brian's favorite fib, it's a reload zone. It's also a Wyckoff check. Great buying level. So point of the matter here, market bottoms, breaks out to a new high, and woohoo! There's no trap bulls. We've gone through this level. This is all open air. There are no sell orders here. So what happens? Woohoo! So hopefully that explains the show me a new buy and I'll show you a buy.